Okay, for day 14 of our 30-day project, I've mostly been focused on immigration issues today, and so extending my Thai visa and also doing some video blogging about organizational ethics. But the part that is related to this project is background mulling and brainstorming as I've gone around today. Today was basically an errand day. I got 3 cavities and my teeth cleaned for $130 US. That would have cost me around $700 in my dentist at home, and it was a walk-in without any anesthetic, with really gentle care, with dental supplies from 3M in the United States. And this is certainly one of the ways that I create well-being for myself, is having more convenient, superior, more enjoyable medical care at roughly 1/7 the cost. This is a great experience. And then to have it done with such care so that it doesn't even require anesthetic and doesn't feel as bad as the typical anesthetic. So anyway, that's just me today. And then helping my girlfriend. There's a traumatic circuit in the body that's, it's loosely known as the fight-flight circuit, and it gets triggered very easily with adult survivors of intense early childhood trauma. And but one of the techniques that I learned in the book Healing Trauma is that you can't just think yourself out. If someone shouts at you or scares you or almost runs you over, and you're left with high rev nerves, you've got to play it through the biology by letting yourself focus on the incident, focus on the person, and then either fighting in some way and releasing the chemical out of the body, or running like hell, and then having the sense of kind of outrunning the feeling or the event or person. Or sometimes if you've frozen, you need to shake. And so I taught my girlfriend this technique this afternoon, and she did a different spin on it. She wanted to shout and put all the aggression and anger and fear that she'd felt when someone had criticized and shamed her this afternoon into a, just let it all out of her voice. So we drove to a quiet place up on one of the mountains, and she let that energy out, and within 5 minutes all the tension and stuff was out of her body, number one. Number two, once the fear had cycled and moved through, what was there is her beauty, her innocence. It's she's a really magical, beautiful person, but the most gentle and amazing people in the world are reduced to something that is not really who they are when they're stuck in a traumatic state. And so trauma is one of the biggest themes in my life at this point. That's what I was looking at in terms of the blogging and the emotional ethics terrain with an organization that traumatized me in some major, in some major ways. And so, so this is, just all on a personal level. On the more broader project level of how to create the most well-being for the most number of people in 30 minutes, it's mulling about this app that I'm developing called Well-Being, and trying to imagine all the different ways that it could help a community come alive with commitment. And so I've had some new brainstorms around that, and I'll just share a couple of what they are. So imagine that, and before I go into this, I'll just share that you can create a friendship by behaving like a friend, or you can feel a friendship that has grown up from friendly behavior. What I'm getting at is the typical reaction when you approach being kind in a healthy scientific way is, I don't even know that person. Why would I be kind to them? Is kind of the culturally acceptable way of looking at it. But that's the point. When you agree with a random stranger to be kind and ethical and balanced and spend time together, you have a friend in a very short amount of time. And when you have a friend who is not behaving kindly and ethically, who you've known for 30 years, you don't really have a friend. You just have someone you've known a long time who hurts you and who is downgrading the quality of your life and is only called a friend with some weird social engineering that focuses more on time or proximity or how many people you know in common or whether you went to school together, as opposed to whether you're actually contributing to each other's lives. So with that said, what I'm trying to create with the app is an orchestrated pattern of deeply caring, supportive, intimate, intimacy, intimate experiences that lead naturally to a feeling of greater well-being, calming down, feeling safer, and sooner rather than later, feeling like you have a new friend. And if you've never experienced that happening at a workshop or in a work environment, because it can happen in a work environment where you just have a colleague where you start cooperating and supporting one another and helping each other feel safe and teaching each other the rope, and you feel like this is my new friend because the work has thrown you together that way. Or if you've had a workshop experience like I have, where you spend a weekend kind of calibrating yourself and you have a partner in that process to learn the most and get the most out of the workshop and really help each other, you feel often closer to this person than you do to the typical friend where you just get together and have a few beers and don't talk about anything real, et cetera, et cetera. So that's just a little bit of context. But the app design that I'm looking at is, first of all, writing a profile where we graph out our well-being on all levels, number one. Number two, we spec out what increases our well-being and what decreases our well-being on all levels. Three, we share a little bit about who we are, our values, our goals, our biggest challenges, our woundings, the things that we have experienced very painfully in our past that we do not want to repeat. We explore the ways that we could be supported in our life. And we explore the ways that we are capable, that we're really good at supporting another person. So this is the profile. And from this profile, you then also have the ability to make invitations, to share news, to share resources with the other people that you are pooling and sharing in your circle on the app. And so this could be a neighborhood, this could be a small community, this could be a family, this could be an extended family, this could be a company. But the app is called Well-Being. And the focus of the app is on doing exactly that. How to create and take a stand for our own and the well-being of other people. And so we've got the profile, we've got the ability to have outreach, we have the context. Now, within this context, whether it's a community, a company, an extended family, number one, you pick a buddy. This is someone that you and they are going to connect for a few seconds to an hour every day. I say a few seconds because the way the app works is you get a prompt every single day to see how you are doing. Mentally, emotionally, physically, your health, financially, logistically, relationally, how you are doing. 1 to 10. If that number in any of those categories slides below an agreed level, it leads to a partnering to bring it up. So you answer your thing, ding, ding, ding. Number 6 emotionally, number 8 financially, number 2, and let's say you're doing number 2 mentally. You're doing your health and well-being is at a 2 out of 10. You're spiraling into negative thoughts. You're disorganized. You're confused. You need some, and you look at what helps when you're in mental pain, and you've spec'd that out. I need a person to talk to for about an hour over a beer, basically. I need someone confidential. I need someone to encourage me and get me to talk because I'm too scared to do that. I need to have some positive media sent my way from YouTube or TED Talks or this or that. I need to get out of my head and help someone. You express what you need to improve your well-being in each of these areas. So when your number goes down, your buddy gets an alert. Within seconds of you filling out your submit report for the day, your update for the day on your well-being, your buddy gets an alert on their phone. Your buddy is doing 2 out of 10 on well-being. They click on that and they scroll down to what you've specified as stuff like you need. They also scroll down, have you added any notes for the day? And they try and help you. They respond, first of all, I'm in a meeting, whatever, I will be back to you within 3 or 4 hours. How's that? If they can't respond in a timely way, they may escalate it to the circle of 5, what I'll call the family. My buddy needs help in this area. I'm swamped here. Anyone in the family got help? If the family is swamped and not responding within a certain period of time, it gets escalated to the community. And this may even happen automatically within the app, because I want people to feel supported and to get something clearly back within an hour. And so it upgrades, and continues to go out there until that person gets support. And get support in a way that helps them raise their number up, that this person gets attention in this area to come back to peak health, as do you, as does everyone else. And there might be 5 people at a given point working, and everyone's working to help those 5. There may be a variety of practical, mental, emotional, social responses. Someone's feeling shame and social isolation. How do we get them help in this situation? And what works? And the app also honors those contributors in a community that take a stand a lot and that have a particularly potent and heartwarming impact, that they really affect someone. So this is the functionality of that app, and the daily reports continue, and the commitment within this community, this circle of well-being, is that everyone in this circle is moving in a positive direction and reaches a state of well-being in a paradigm in which the person who is suffering does most of the work, but that everyone is there to help. The difference between being rescuing and being helped is the percentage. Being rescued is I'm feeling tired, it would be great to have my house moved and everyone moves the whole house and you lay in bed. And it's like, oh, well, that's nice. Why don't people just keep taking care of my whole life and I'll just lay around complaining? That's, rescuing. That's a rescuing dynamic. But a helpful dynamic, my truck broke down. I need to move today. Could anyone bring me a rental truck? I'll pay for it. Something where it's strengthening the individual. It's teaching them how to fish, so that the community is getting stronger and stronger rather than more and more dependent. And this can be done. So then finally, there's awards that you can award someone that's given you special help. Now this is great for medical crisis and emergency, if, rather than pressing one of those things and an ambulance rushes in. And ambulances, I've had an ambulance rush to my house. They are unpleasant, they're noisy, they follow their protocol, they've got loud walkie-talkies. You don't want an ambulance rushing in because you've got a back spasm or something. You want help. I've got a back spasm and can't move. I'm feeling exhausted with chronic fatigue and I can't take this bill to the post office. Could people help out with that today? And I'll do something later when I'm back on my feet. And let's all learn more about chronic fatigue or PTSD so that we as a community are growing. So the idea is basically you take 30 seconds or to 3 minutes a day to do this report. The app tracks your progress and graphs it. That every week you meet with your family, or every month, but that that things get escalated to a family level if they're not dealt with, and you have maybe a monthly meeting with the 5, or weekly meeting, whatever you decide, and that you have a monthly to quarterly meeting with the whole community to look at who's flatlining, who's making steady progress, who's going downhill, what's working, what isn't working, what resources are available, And also, it's, we may decide to pool resources to help the community as a little bit of an insurance program, where we might say that we all contribute $30 a month, and that's there to help people. And if you want to contribute more or do a loan or whatever, that's tracked within the app as well. And so unpaid loans, as an example, don't break individual relationships, they cause community alert. You now have 3 unpaid loans within the community. The app is not going to let you request more money, and we need to get to the bottom of what's going on. And it's not put to it's not left as a weight, as it so often is, on the person in the social situation who loaned the money to track up. This is a community job, and it's tracked on the app. And you have indicators and things on the app that, green, yellow, red. We can also track impact. What's working really well? What are the irritants within the community? Is it noise? Is it this? How often is it happening? Because these are the stuff, when they're not addressed, that create enormous friction and lead to many communities and neighbors and stuff exploding, as opposed to growing tight and very nurturing and positive. Lies are another thing to track on the app. Have you been lied to by this or that or the other? Stuff to clear up. Again, clear it up within the community, the circle. This is basically a really important tool that doesn't exist currently, and that I believe can bring more intimacy, more love, more health, more growth, and more well-being to community. And so this is the kind of stuff that I'm mulling on. And then, the hard thing is putting it into language where an app developer knows how to do it, and that kind of thing. So that's going to be one of the next week's projects, understanding that it'll be a little bit more informal. Like, we'll be traveling and flying and heading back to the United States with 19-hour flights, and so there may be less structure, but these background mullings, which tie in with the container community and stuff that I was talking about, I think are important.